And welcome back to part 3 of Little Nightmares. We've escaped the blind man's lair, so our next destination is wherever this pipe leads us. Which, to jump the gun a little, it leads us to a kitchen. And the kitchen level is kind of the iconic level of this game. Like, anytime there's any footage or people talking about it, it's only a matter of time before they bring up the kitchen. Because it is the longest and strongest level in the game, and I can see why a lot of people like it. It still has its problems, but it does a lot with its horror and tension to make it work better than the other levels do. Like the intro level, there isn't any real threat. You can see glimmers of it, but there isn't much of a real threat, so you just kind of find your way through it and avoid the leashes. The lair, it's still very controlled because you're learning. Like, it doesn't want to throw major threats at you and tasks and such, because it knows you're still trying to work out what you're doing and how you want to, like, how you supposed to proceed and solve puzzles. Like, it's still trying to teach you a little bit, even though you're not in a tutorial, it's still giving you some breathing room. Whilst this is the level where they take that away a little bit more, and they're like, well, no, you've already proven you know what to do now, so we're just going to let you work everything out. As we approach another hunger section, which, as I've said before, they only ever use this as a narrative piece, so don't think of it too much. Just press on, and then when you see something, go to it. Because right now we have to do the rather unfortunate thing to satiate our hunger of taking this rat. If you're not comfortable with it, turn away. You got about half a second. There we go. If you've got a pet rat, I'm sorry. But that is just a section that comes up that you have to accept as happening. But now we've got some food in our system again, so we can persevere. And the music's got a bit slower and a bit more drab as well since then. Because it's trying to show us that Six, oh shit, will do anything she can for the sake of food. Even if it means ending another even smaller life. As we approach the blooded doors of the kitchen. So is this like the equivalent of like the trash alley we were just in, like out back? But not quite, because it's just another extension of the lair. Well, another extension of the moor even. The lair was the location we was in last time. The moor's this entire building we're in. If you can even call it a building, it's technically, as you can tell by the swaying left and right, we're in a ship of some kind. The moor is a giant ship-like structure. And it's just, the reason why it always slightly sways left and right, only ever so slightly, like you won't notice it too much, but you will notice it when it comes to things on wheels. The reason why it sways is because it's the ocean. It's the ocean crashing into it. It's just swaying the ship slightly. Oh, and be careful not to just dart straight out here. It's very easy to just be spotted by this. Here's the chef. And what's interesting is that, yeah, you can go straight under its nose like that, even though it will see you. The way its animations work and such, it won't grab you. It's just a cheeky little thing you can do. What you're supposed to do is go around the back. And when you get nearest to the door, eventually the chef on his own will go through into here so you can squeeze on by. Uh-oh. If it spots you here, it can't reach under. It's too small a space, so it will just somehow lose sight of you. The tables need to be bigger because the animation needs to be able to give the chef space to actually reach under and grab. So if it's a smaller table like that, even if it sees you go under there, it just can't reach you, and so the game will register it as it can't see you. Whack this as you go under to get the chef to move away. And then feel free to make a break for it. There is a trophy in this, an alternate trophy or achievement you can get in this room. You see that fire stove in the back over there? Well, around this room, there are several fish and bread slices. If you throw 3 in there of any kind, the trophy will pop. It's not as bad as you might think, as it sounds. Like trying to navigate this room whilst dealing with the chef. If you wait until later, you can the chef's pattern will change, and they will spend a lot more time over on this right side. Like, I know the chef sees me right now, and that's why he's over here. But we got to go back through this area in a minute because that door's got a key and we don't have the key yet. When we get the key, the chef's pattern changes, and the pattern involves the chef spending more time on this right hand side, giving you a lot more time to get what you need to get that fire stove. So I'm just going to say don't go for it now, wait later. And I'm glad it's that one and not one of these ones on the actual stove over here, because lining them up would be a nightmare. So I think I can show you this pole. If you grab this and walk to the end and drop it, you'll miss. Like, you have to go down, like, I think you have to go like right to like the bottom corner. Let's see, like, you're nowhere close. Can you climb this side? Oh. No, we've got to go up this way. Okay. Go at this slightly janky angle. So that's probably the only other thing, and I know it's a very personal thing, but I'm also aware I'm far from the only person who struggles with it in this game, despite the fact I don't struggle with it in other games, and that's depth perception. My depth perception in virtual worlds is extraordinarily good. I can say in quite confidence. Like, I do really well with my depth perception in video games or digital spaces, because I guess I've just grown up with video games all my life. It's something that you end up kind of getting a feel of whether you mean to or not. But I don't know if it's something to do with the lighting or the gradient filter on this, but every single person who plays this seems to have trouble with the depth perception in this. Everyone seems to just slightly miss things. As you go over here, it will alert the shadow in here, revealing that there's actually two chefs, not one. They're twins, hence the two toilets you saw earlier. But yeah, this is the key you need, and you need to be able to drag it back down into the main kitchen space. I just want to check something, because I think there's something in the top right corner. If there is, I want to try and get it, but I'm not sure. Because you can reach this, which means you can reach that. So, oh shit. So I might be able to grab up and climb this and see if I can... Oh no, that's the end of the road. 6 doesn't want to climb that. Never mind, let's just drop down onto the bed. Ugh. And let's get out of here. Now the penny's been dropped that there are two chefs, I don't particularly want to hang around. And as you noticed when we were last going through the main kitchen space, but it will persevere for a while now. You know, the blind man was the only enemy that was, you know, blind. So enemies will be able to just spot you out, so the challenge has been heightened. You might notice as well there a gnome went off to the left, so let's follow it. And there should be a pot shaking. Yeah. Break the pot. There's a gnome trapped inside. There we go. You're okay, little guy. Here's a hug. I think I missed a gnome in this level already. Like, I think when we was going through the trash alley, there's like a container that has like a gap in it you can squeeze behind, but so that's something to get later. Oh! Alright, hi. I completely forgot. I thought the chef would save in the other area, but no. The chef comes back here briefly. Except he's not here now, so that's just a bit unfair. Thanks, game. But the chef's pattern, you'll notice as things move around and such, is going to shift. Like, it will still be over here from time to time, but he's going to predominantly move over more to the right-hand side. And the reason why the game does that to you and makes the chef's pattern change, that he will start lingering over the right-hand side, is because the door that you need is on the right-hand side, so of course they're going to put the pressure on. But since he's gone back into the smaller space, I'm going to use that opportunity to try and just make the full stretch. Yeah, we got this. He will hear the click of the door opening though, so be wary going through. Either full on book it or hide under something. I don't know how close he is, so I'm just going to hide in here. Like, your alternative is that you can climb this, like, the shelving we're hiding under and go through that gap. And to be honest, we probably had enough time to. I just didn't know how close the chef was. Yeah, we would have made that if I'd pushed for it. Oh well. We'll just wait. But no, the chef's gonna linger over here because it's that part. This is what I mean. The chef's just gonna linger over here for a while before he eventually goes away. He always ends up lingering on the right hand side much longer than he has any real right to. Now he's proper leaving, thanks. Right, let's go. Oh right, this room. Forgot about you. This room is kind of it's a puzzle room, but it's a bit basic. What I mean is that there is an upper plating where food can be dropped into this grinder. In fact, there we go. And then if you grind it up, it will turn it into a sausage, and you're trying to make a sausage string long enough that you can climb over. That you can swing over, because you're such a little person and weigh nothing, you won't snap the sausage string. There's a bit here, and there's a bit hanging from a hook just above us. So we need to get both and then drop them in and grind them both. But the game can get a little finicky with it. If you have all 3 slices of meat on there and like don't drop it, like wait until you've got all 3 of them before you drop it, don't be surprised if one kind of bounces a little bit and like it struggles to maintain its position inside. Like I've never had one drop out, and to be honest, I kind of hope one never can, because if it does, I don't know if how heavy it is you'll be able to get it back up. I think you'll have to just reload a checkpoint. But just be wary of that they do kind of bounce around. You'll probably see it even though it's just 2 of them. They'll just kind of hit each other, and the physics engine doesn't really know what to do when 2 physics objects meet. But over here is not only a light but a statue, so it's worth coming over here anyway. Oh, come on. I thought I held it down. There we go. You can also climb up this back bit as well, but there's no collectible here. It just changes the camera angle to show like a rat eating a gnome, which is kind of depressing, but it is what it is. Like you're like, thank you for looking out and looking around. Your reward is now witness death. Yeah, gee, thanks, game. Let's go back over here and climb this. Oh no, wait, need to drop it again. Yeah, you kind of saw it there, where the meat kind of bounced a little. And you'll probably do it again as I go through this. Oh no, it worked in my favour that time. And even though it doesn't look like it, yes, this is just barely long enough now for you to reach to grab. Because it looks like it's still too high, but no, you can reach it off that. It's one of those things where if I was designing it, I would have put a 4th one in. Because speedrunners would then discover that you could do it all 3 by themselves. Whilst the 4th one is there for the comfort for players who don't feel like they can make it or just have enough doubt of themselves. As you might notice, it's a hidey hole right here, so you can bet your ass you're going to be expected to use it in a second. Which kind of unfortunately gives away the horror of what's about to come up. Because you got to pull this lift down, right? And the lift's open, so you pull it down, you're waiting for it to come up. You can see there's a key there, so you need to come back, and the chef's there. The chef's coming down in it, so you have to hide. But because the hidey hole's there already, you already kind of expect you're going to pull it and the chef's going to be there. And just like before, if the chef spots you, or one of the chefs spot you going into this little hidey hole, they can't reach you, so it will register as they've lost sight of you. When you feel confident, make sure to like persevere on, but rush when you get close to the lift, because they will hear the lift close. And as soon as you get up here, jump into that tunnel to your right, because the chef heard it. He's already called the lift back. You don't have long to get into a hidey hole, but just stay here because he won't be able to spot you, and even if he somehow did, there's no way he's reaching you. Because he's going to come up and he's going to start looking around desperately for us. But he will open the door for us as well, which is nice of him, even if it's accidental. Charming. Right, we need a key in this section. And you'll never guess where it is. Can you see it yet? I might edit over it, but it's literally right in front of his nose. Not on the table. I might edit it to show it a bit closer, like zoom in on it. But yeah, when I first played through it and saw that, I out loud just went, "Oh!" Because it's just the placement of that is mean. But I like it too, because it's how it should be in a horror game. If you're gonna make us try and get something, put it under the enemy's nose. Make it so we have to figure out a way to get it away from their nose. Lean into the puzzle side of the horror more. Because we need to get him away from it long enough that we can get towards the key. So push this, which will grind this loudly, find somewhere to hide, and as soon as he's distracted, push back through out here, straight for the key and run. Because that distraction will last not long at all. Ooh, we might get spotted. No, we got away with that. He will hear this though. Yep, you hear that scream? So open that door and run. Because he's going to be coming. The lift's already coming. Come on. Time to go. Oh, there's somewhere to hide in here. Get in there, Six. I think this is the reason why people remember the chef level the most, or the kitchen level the most, is because it's so not constant, because like the game does have a good, as much as I criticized it last time, the game does have a good spacing of the horror towards the breathing. It's just my problem wasn't that it was that there was spacing, it's that the spacing felt way too obvious at times. There's like, oh, this section is only here to space out the previous horror to the next, and not to be something interesting. We pull on this plunger? No. Have we just got to climb up the side over here? But this level, even though acknowledging the spacing systems and what they do to make it so the horror isn't not like 24/7, is probably the most constant threat of the lot. As I run around like a moron trying to remember what to do. But there's a statue here, so I might as well get that. Oh yeah, it's up here, okay. Oh right, we're at this section, got it. If you want the checkpoint to register, get out and kind of like linger left slightly, otherwise the checkpoint it will register will be in the dump that we were just in. Like you need to go back a little bit and go like get nearest to the corner, otherwise it won't register. Uh-oh, need to get back in. Six. Oh, I'm just gonna go around. Don't know why she didn't feel like going back in that hole. Right, there's a stack of plates in the middle of the room that you need to climb to grab a hook to take us out of here. Oh no, we need to pull a switch first. Oh, we're dead. Yep. Completely forgot that I needed a switch. So I'm just going to go bold. Just go for this. Make a book it straight for this. Yeah, you can get away with that. They can't reach you here. So that's the speedrun strat. Because there's two holes out of that tunnel. That first one we took and the one you just saw. That's literally right in front of their faces. But if you just take it and book it over here, you can absolutely squeeze through. And even though the chef looks under, even if it sees you, it can't reach you in here. So just go for it. And now they've both got our backs to us so we can push straight for the switch. Because we need to make those hooks go the other way, so then when we grab one, it will take us out of this area. But they will hear it, so, you know, duck under. And if they spot you under here, they will grab you from under. So actually make sure to hide. Like, turn off your lighter if you've got it on, and actually try and hide away a little more. Because they can reach under it. It's wide enough for them to do so. Now we need to get back to that middle bit and climb the plates. Which, to be fair, for as terrifying as that fort is, it's not as bad as you think. Like, they won't have the idea to knock the stack of plates over. They want to try and grab you off it to not smash the plates. So as long as you're... Hang on, let's wait for him to turn around. My controller started vibrating heavily the moment I put my head out. So as long as you just make a push, that you'll be fine. So now we're up here. I'm just going to wait for the next hook to come along. And instead of pushing the plates over, they're going to try and see if they can get me at all. But now they're going to follow you. So just, yeah, be wary. Don't let go until I say. There is going to be a point where you need to let go, because one chef follows you along, the other just took a back door. And so that back door, of course, leads somewhere in front of you, which is right there. So don't hang around. Around, like, the third stack of boxes, let go and drop and start running. Because the other one's going to start pushing through the door to chase after you. And this is the last section of the kitchen now. You just got to get away from these guys, because they are on you. To grab the other side of the hook, to continue letting it take us. Because for some reason, neither of them get the idea to just flip the switch back. And that's it, we've escaped the kitchen. Which I made that look kind of easy, minus a couple deaths. That's because it kind of is when you know what you're doing. But it is the most infamous level, because it's the most consistent in that sense. But that being said, next time we're going to see more of the Moore's real identity. So until then, take care.